I want to kind of do a recap of my trip to Cleveland. I've been so fortunate to be a 4-time national delegate for President of the United States with the Republican Party. It touches me that they thought that much of me to allow me to do it. There's a couple of ways that you can actually become a delegate. You can get on a ballot and run, and they select so many, and each candidate gets a certain percentage according to how many votes they get. And I got on early with Mike Huckabee. I was a Mike Huckabee delegate in 2008, one of the finest men I've ever met. And when he asked me to help him this time, I did. And I wouldn't take anything for it because Mike's a great guy. Well, this time, when he got out, the Trump campaign contacted me to work a campaign, and I did. And when we won Tennessee big, as we thought we would, I had the opportunity to be nominated by the state as a delegate at large, which was statewide. And it's just such a great honor, and I've been appointed 4 separate times. I've never actually been on a ballot and won, but I've been appointed 4 times. And it's really important to me, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate Lawrence County being behind me because this is home. On Sunday now, we got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I tried to take many pictures, but there's so much to do. I spent 3 hours in, and I could have had 5 hours. There's a gold suit worn by Elvis Presley, and that's Angus Young of AC/DC, his little schoolboy suit. Ringo Starr's original Beatles drums. They had a real nice selection of Jimi Hendrix stuff. As you can tell, that's got Jimi Hendrix written all over it. And Devo, Whip It. Remember the song Whip It? Whip It good. John Cougar Mellencamp had one of his guitars, so I took a photograph of that. Run DMC, the big thick rope gold chain. I've never seen a chain that big in my life, so I had to take a photo of it as well as one of the hats they wore. ZZ Top with these neon green guitars. It was something to see. The Beach Boys. They had a nice selection of Beach Boy memorabilia. The Who. And that's Slash from Guns N' Roses, tennis shoes and his top hat. Everybody recognized those. That's why he wore them. I remember them being nasty looking. The famous blue studded jacket of Michael Jackson during the Thriller tour. That was something to see. And the picture of his famous white glove, and it actually was spinning. I just took a still photograph of it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's the front entrance from the night we went to our party. I went and tried to sit in every seat I could possibly sit in without getting myself in trouble, and that's from the balcony. I wanted to give everybody a perspective on how it looked from up top. A little closer. There's myself, Jim Looney, with the Tennessee delegation sign, and once again, what an honor.
Hello, Lawrenceburg. It's great being here at the Republican National Convention, and I really appreciate what Lawrenceburg now does. Your good friend Looney is filming this. It's great to be with him, and I look forward to seeing all of y'all back home very soon.
Hello to everybody in Lawrence County. I want to thank Lawrenceburg Now for giving me the opportunity just to report from you from Cleveland. We've got a great delegation going on. The Tennessee Republican Party is excited to be up here. We're looking forward to making sure we defeat Hillary Clinton this fall. And I'm especially excited to have one of your own, Jim Looney, up here joining us. We're having a great time. We hope that you'll vote Republican in November. We're confident after you see our message that you're going to do just that. Thanks so much.
Hey, it's Steve Albrook. I'm here on the floor in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Tuesday night. I'm here with my good friend Jim Looney. He is the SEC member for the 28th Senatorial District. He represents Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County, and 5 other counties in southern Middle Tennessee. It's been very exciting. Mr. Trump is doing a great deal to unify the party. And I work with Congressman Blackburn. I'm her assistant director and senior advisor. She is all in, going to be campaigning not only in Tennessee, but all across the Southeast and Midwest for the ticket. And we're expecting to do especially well down in the 28th Senatorial District. Our good friend Barry Dawes State rep, I know everybody knows him. State Senator Joey.
Donald Trump is a fighter, and I
Hello,
know
Lawrence.
he's going to this country. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
I'm especially want to thank Lawrenceburg now for all they do to keep our people informed all over Lawrence County. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Congressman Chuck Fleischman. I represent the 3rd District of Tennessee, and I've been with the Tennessee delegation all week. And we're wrapping up the Republican National Convention. We've all had a great time. We're all great Tennesseans. It's been great. We're ready to go home. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Looney from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. And it's good to be with y'all on Lawrenceburg Now. Let's go out and win this one. Thank you.
Well, good morning to Lawrence County and all our friends in Lawrenceburg. Particularly want to thank everybody with Lawrenceburg Now. Great leadership happening down there. From the state level, we really appreciate that. Things are going really well here in Cleveland for the Republican Convention. I think it's a great chance for us as Republicans to talk about our message, to talk about what happens when you put an environment in with low taxes that encourages business growth, puts a real focus on education as the means for people to change their life, and then to see the results. We've done that in Tennessee, and I think that's what you're hearing Republicans talk about here, and to me it's incredibly encouraging. So I do want to thank everybody in Lawrence County, Jim and the whole team up here representing you very, very well, and look forward to being back there soon. Thanks for all your help.
This gentleman I'm standing with here is Darren Morris. He was over Tennessee for Trump, and I think they did so well in Tennessee, he may move on up to a higher position on the general election. But what a good man. Mo Rocca used to be on Tonight's Show, and he does CBS Sunday morning, does special reports for them, and just overall nice guy. It's the second time I talked to him. Brett Hume, real intelligent fella. I had to score a photo with this guy. Newt Gingrich, what a thrill to meet Newt. He was a nice guy. People were worrying him to death, but he took time and talked to everybody. He was like all of us, just happy to be there. Brian Kilmeade with Fox and Friends. I enjoy watching that show in the mornings. Notre Dame coaching legend Lou Holtz. I was lucky to run into him, and what a nice guy. Everybody's nice. There's another view from high up. I want everybody to get a perspective on how it looked from every angle. There's myself on the floor trying to get a better angle with the stage. You're just amazed when you're on the floor to see all these people. And that's Paul Ryan on stage. And Rance Priebus, Republican National Chairman, on stage discussing some issues before the actual vote on the floor. If you ever watch Fox News, they'll have a panel sometimes, and this gentleman will ask them questions, and he'll get their perspective on what they thought about the candidates before they speak, and then he'll ask them again after. This is Mr. Frank Luntz. He does a good job on stats for Fox. He's a super nice fellow as well. I was walking through the halls, and I spotted some news people that looked real familiar, and I saw this gentleman, and I thought, he looks awful familiar. And then I saw his friend, and then I decided, hey, these guys are on Saturday Night Live doing the Winky and Update. And this is Mr. Michael Chi from Saturday Night Live. And this gentleman right here is Colin Joyce. And we were just, we talked about a few things. I took a photograph with them, and they asked me if I would get on camera and do an impression of Donald Trump. And I said, I can't do Donald Trump, but I'll give you Bill Clinton.
Can you give us a line as Bill Clinton?
Everybody thinks I like Hillary, but I love Donald Trump. And they actually put it on the Today Show, and I was lucky enough that I got to do a little imitation of Bill Clinton, but I feel just a little cheated because they didn't let me do my punchline. They edited that out. And so if you don't mind, I believe I'd like to go ahead and do the whole thing if I could. People think I'm voting for Hillary, but I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. And they said, why are you voting for Donald Trump? I said, because he's got a hot wife. A lot of you people will look at this and say, I've seen this guy in movies, and who is he? Well, his name is Robert Davey. He was known as a Bond bad guy in one of the Bond movies and played a lot of good villains, but really a super nice guy, as well as a Donald J. Trump delegate for New York. So he wasn't just a fan, he was there being a delegate as well. Donald Trump was nominated for president, and during the nomination speech, they had to give a second, which Arkansas Lieutenant Governor Henry McMaster gave the second, and it's just a touching speech. And I said, man, you got a future in this game because you're really good. And talked to him on the floor. He's in the South Carolina delegation, and he was kind enough to take a photo. That is retired Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell. Now, he's a hero, guys, I'm telling you. And what a good fella. We were on the floor Monday night, and Congressman Chuck Fleischman come by, and he said, hey, guys, I've got some tickets. Anybody interested in going to see Rick Springfield? And I said, well, yeah, absolutely. I said, be the ninth time I've seen him. I'd love to go. So we walked down to the riverfront, which is a small walk, and luckily Tennessee, hey, we was on the front row. You can't beat it. There's me really excited. My teenage years all over again. I'm standing here at one of our breakfasts in the morning with Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. This guy's really energetic. He'd be a good football coach because, man, he can give a speech. I'm just happy that he's the governor of Kentucky. Him and Governor Haslam get along really well. As I was saying I was checking out every seat in the House, I thought I'd give you a Bob Uecker view from the last row. So that's just a photograph of me in the very last row at the convention. That's myself with Middle Tennessee contact for Donald J. Trump, Mr. Robert Swoop. Real good guy. Now you look at this and you say, that's a blurry photograph. How did that happen? What I was doing, I saw Dr. Ben Carson. He was walking up through the hall, and his guy was taking him to an interview. These guys have to be shuttled from news to news, and it's usually on a tight schedule. He was nice, but I asked him for a photograph, and he said he'd love to, but we'd have to do a selfie because he's really in a hurry. But what a nice fella. As I was standing in the hall, I noticed boxing legend Don King, which, believe it or not, is Republican. Now, he did tell the group standing there he voted for Barack Obama, but he'd known Donald J. Trump his whole life and liked him and said he would support him any way he could. And Don's really a neat guy. He has some good stories. This right here is Don King Jr., and I got a little interesting story to tell you about him. He said when he was a little boy that his dad would allow him to invite people over if they wanted to meet Muhammad Ali. Of course, what little boy wouldn't want to come meet Muhammad Ali? And he'd say, well, you can come over for $10. He said they'd pay it. That's a former Chief of Staff for George W. Bush, Mr. Karl Rove. Really a nice guy. I got to work with him a little bit in the 2000 campaign for George W. Bush, and just an all-around smart and nice guy. That's a little picture of Donald J. Trump and his beautiful First Lady-to-be. That's a view from the front of the building. We were fixing to go in to be checked through security. I don't know if I was supposed to taking this photograph or not, but it's actually Secret Service and the guards checking all our bags. We had to take everything out of our pockets and turn our phones on, and the security was great. Never saw the first protester myself. That's entry to the hall of the main convention center. I was talking with Rick Perry, and he had one of his assistants to take a photograph of us, and about the time he snapped it, the elevator opened, and as you see, I about lost Governor Perry. That's a quarterback legend from the Minnesota Vikings Hall of Famer, Mr. Fran Tarkenton. He was really good. I enjoyed hearing him speak. Tennessee's on Marsha Blackburn. I'm sitting in the Tennessee delegation and filming Marsha Blackburn on stage at the Republican National Convention. What an honor.
Integrating schools from safety and winning the fight to respect and opportunity.
I had to take a photograph of the Tennessee sign. That's Lawrence County's former Congressman, Mr. Scott Desjardins. He is still a congressman, but when they redrew the district, he's not in our district anymore. That's why we have Marsha. I had to take a photograph of me signing the sign just to prove that I was actually there. I'm in between both E's. That's the ticket for the Tennessee delegation for the last night of the event. I thought I'd just take a photograph of it, show everybody back at home what a convention ticket looks like. When it's all over, everybody gets so excited. You want to pick up a little bit of confetti and some balloons to keep, forever. They make good Christmas gifts. And like I say, we were walking on the floor, and I had this gentleman come up to me, and he said, "Would you like to do an interview for the UK?" And I said, "Absolutely. Why not?" There's a photograph of some of the confetti.
Check out the floor after balloons and all drop. You'll drown in balloons. It's just amazing how many balloons and confetti we dropped here today. And I'd like to thank Lawrenceburg Now for putting all this information online for us. Reporting from Cleveland at the Republican National Convention. Thank you.
They really made a mess, but it was really impressive. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was really having fun tonight of the last night of the convention. I actually got on stage and pretended I was Donald Trump. My his wife didn't know the difference.